Hey, Mike Brookfield here. Week 10, Rockin Roundup. So, I hope you've enjoyed these first 10 weeks. I think after these 10 weeks, it's a good time now to kind of do, like if you're training for a marathon, or if you're an athlete, you go through these periods where you train quite intensely, and then in order for you to get the gains, you have to rest, and then you build back up again. So that's where I think we're at now. We've done 10 weeks of pretty intense. You've been getting a practice solo every week. There's been Clapton kind of things coming in and all over the place. There's been a lot going on. So now is a good time to take a rest week, but we can still be talking about things, you know what I mean? So a good time to get feedback. If you want to drop me, drop a comment or send me an email, do whatever you feel best. Send me a video of you playing one of the practice solos if you want, but what we're going to do is we're going to pull it back this week because there's so much information coming up here. And I know for a fact, this is an absolute, I know 100%, nobody is impossible for anybody to stay on top of all of the etudes and the solos and stuff like that. And so really what you've got to do is just cherry pick the things that really catch your ear. So you've done 2 blues, you've done 2 Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, done 2 Need Your Love So Bad, you've done 2 Parisian Walkways and 2 Little Wing in different keys. And the whole point is really just to get that fretboard knowledge going, so you have to play the chords, preferably into a loop pedal, and then try and play the etude over the top. You learn so much by doing that, and you'll notice that everything is in line with the chord. So like if you analyze every bar, you can justify every note for being there. It's not the same as if you're kind of like, if you're analyzing, say, like Jimmy Page blowing over a blues in 1972, it's not, it's much more kind of feel-based, that, isn't it? But these are more technical, and it gives us an opportunity to talk about things. So now we're at that point where, like, let's talk about scales, talk about arpeggios, where to put in major, minor, blues, and things like that. So I think over the next few weeks, just to mix it up, I'm going to just drop some kind of tips videos, and based on what the feedback I get is. And obviously if you want to hear about the gear and stuff like that, I can see I have my Marshall SV20 there set up because I was using that the other day on something, just because it's so different from the 100 watt there. So I have the Friedman, which is over there, which is 50 watt, that's 20 watt, and that's 100 watt. That kind of happened quite intuitively. I didn't actually do that on purpose. It wasn't too much of a calculated thing, I don't think. It was just that. One thing I didn't say when I was talking about my amps there the other day, now we're on the subject, is that the 20 watt, you hear a lot of people online talking about the SV20, it's like too loud and stuff. As soon as you play it with the band, it's not loud enough. That's just the reality of it. As soon as you start playing with a drummer, it's really hard to get any kind of cleans out of it. But I'll tell you where it works brilliantly, and my favorite way of doing it is if you're on a gig and you've got monitors, you can set the amp just where you want it, and you maybe just boost it with a pedal for solos and stuff like that, but you have a little bit in the foldback in the monitor, and then you have that spread where you've got your amp, and then when you've got a little bit in the monitor, make sure that the monitor mix is not too harsh. Sometimes when you get it back in the monitor, they don't EQ it, and if they can, sometimes you just need to tell them to take a bit of harshness, take a bit of the top end out of it, because once it's fed through like a monitor, there's something about the sound of it. It doesn't sound very guitar-y, so you have to kind of ask the guys, just take it a little bit of top end off when you put the guitar through, and you get this lovely spread then, and that's where the 20 watt can really work well. But even if you're just doing a wedding band gig or like a function gig, a 20 watt, it's kind of like, it's usually too distorted, whereas if you go to like a 30 watt or something like that, even like one of the Fenders, weirdly, I used to gig with a Blues Junior all the time, and that was only 15 watts, and I never had a problem with that. losing kind of headroom and stuff. Anyway, back to the, have you got any comments on that, thoughts on that? But I think that's why like the Friedman is ideal, because you've got 2 channels, it's got a master volume, there's loads of clean headroom if you want it, and it's as filthy as you like if you want it as well. But you know, it's kind of nice to have those different options with the 20 and the 100. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, what did we talk about this week? We did an etude on Monday, and I think it was the Parisian Walkways one. I did what I thought was a cool video on Behind the Mask, because I'm a big 80s Clapton fan, because that was the time I got into him. So for some reason, I just stumbled across that footage of him playing Behind the Mask on Prince's Trust. And then there was another one, and the White Jacket one I wasn't as aware of, but the other one I had on video and used to play along with all the time. So I transcribed them both, and that was really good fun to do. And it really gets you into the zone of his playing at that time, which is really, he's really excited to be blowing over that. You can tell he's really into it, and then one of the things that you might not have seen, because not everybody watches those videos all the way through, is the loop I did. So I might do that again now, just for a little bit of fun, so I kind of went 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I'm just looping a C sharp, and now I'm going to play the power chords. 2, 3, 4. So I've got the power chords and the 1-note pedal going. That's the kind of Behind Your Mask kind of keyboard riff, isn't it? And then, it's C sharp minor, so there's Chuck. To just experiment with your blues positions. You could be running the 5 positions of the blues. What I was doing there, I was going up a Dorian scale. I was kind of doing like a Dorian scale type of thing, just picking 2 notes on a string and then moving up. It's one of my favorite things to do, because it just sounds angular. It's kind of almost like a like Gary Clark Jr. type of thing, because he does that. He builds up the intensity and then, gets back into the string bending business, So anyway, that's our weekly roundup. And we're going to mix things up a little bit over the next couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoy that. But it's very much based on the feedback that I get and what I think would complement what we've already done, which we've done 5 songs and we've done 2 etudes on each song, and I think you've got loads there to work with. There's no way everybody's done all of that stuff, so it makes sense to maybe complement that material with some other things that I think that would be useful alongside it. So keep it burning, guys, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to drop me a little message, okay? Keep it happening.